Good morning, YouTube. I think I'm going to start my own YouTube channel. That way I can have all kinds of followers and they can see all the fun things I do when I'm on the backpack and looking at the forest and all the mountains. Maybe someday I'll do that. I hope I'll see you there. But right now, me and Fortune's going to get back on the trail. We hope you all have a good day.
Good morning. About half a mile into the day on this beautiful, cool, but mild and dewy Connecticut morning. It was a gorgeous campsite last night, surrounded by these kinds of flowers. Not really sure what they are, but they're beautiful. Nice pink flowers, pinkish white, and they're in bloom everywhere right now. Nice campsite, slept good. Beautiful bird song this morning, as you heard. And on the trail, 20-mile day on the horizon with a nice falls, I think, that'll be going through. Getting ready to summit my first mountain of the day here in about 3/4 of a mile. And I believe it's another 1 or 2 summits after that. Only 23 miles from the state line. Will be 3 miles from the state line when I set up camp tonight, unless something happens and changes, which would make that different. I don't foresee that happening because that puts me in perfect position to do the other things that I want to do in the next couple days before the birthday. Have I told you? My birthday is in 4 days, 5 days. I don't even know how many days right now, but it's coming up this week. Woohoo! Standing on the summit of Mount Easter, the first summit of this beautiful sunny day in Connecticut. And conquering is officially underway for the day. All socked in with trees. Over there, some beautiful mountains that I seen earlier through the trees, but you can't really see them here. But Mount Easter is in the bag. Wow. Standing on the summit, if you want to call it that. It's called Belter's Bump. It's a hill, an overgrown hill, it says. I don't know what an overgrown hill is. I guess it's a hill that's bigger than just a hill. I don't really understand it. But it's a summit, nonetheless. No views, but it's nice and bright and sunny right here as it's exposed. And Belter's Bump is in the bag. Wouldn't mind having that mountain in my backyard. Something to climb every day. Another road walk till you cross this bridge and then it goes left. Farmland. Mountain. Car. Concrete. Coming close to Falls Village, which is odd. There was a sign saying Falls Village, the town of Canaan. So the town is Canaan, but it's known as Falls Village. I don't understand that, why you have two different names. But I digress. The third river walk of Connecticut. Just another reason why Connecticut is one of the more cruisier states, in my opinion. Because this is the third one, probably totaling about 10 miles of river walk. Not this one in particular, but all three of them. 10 miles out of 52 miles is river walk. And this is why there's probably a Connecticut challenge, and why it would be pretty easy to obtain as long as you were feeling strong and started early. A lot of ups and downs. It's like 11,000 something elevation total, but 52 miles and 10 of it being this flat river walk kind of stuff. But I will definitely have a chance to do that in the future. And I'm not going to tell you why I say that. You will have to stay tuned, because there's a big announcement coming at some point in the future about a challenge I'm going to take on the AT. That will give me all kinds of opportunities to do the Connecticut challenge, amongst other challenges I have not yet done. But you will have to stay tuned, because I'm not going to announce that yet. So there. Here's the little downtown, if you want to call it that. The town of Canaan, Falls Village. Building over there, city building, town building, whatever it is. Falls Village Cafe. Came in here, got a bite to eat real quick. Cool little train car over here. Little mechanic shop here. I think if you keep walking up the road, you end up turning underneath an overpass on this road. And then right over here is where the trail came out. You might be able to see it even over there on the other side of those trees, just through that open grassy area. Then it comes down here and follows this road for a little bit, back to the trail. Well, this is the trail, but continues on this road before it splits off. And some really cool stuff coming up. The falls will be coming up. A nice milestone, some summits. Who knows how far I'll go today? I might even go all the way to Massachusetts. We shall see I got some food in me, a spicy chicken sandwich and some fries, a Coke and a root beer. I'm ready to do it. So let's do it. Let's do some afternoon conquering. Woohoo! And 1,500 miles of my Appalachian Trail through hike is in the bag. The Great Falls. They're pretty great. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty great. The AT goes up there and I'll be on top of it. But this is a little side trail that goes down below to take a look at the Great Falls. Beautiful. The view from up top. Technically, at the beginning of this field here is where the 1,500 mile mark is now, not where that sign was. That was about 0.8 miles before the actual spot. So every year there's tweaks done to the AT, so things change as far as, you know, beginning loops, reroutes, all kinds of things get done each year. So whenever that sign was from just hasn't been updated and moved to the right spot yet. But now I'm at 1,500, but I'm not going to call it out again because it's already in the bag. It is warm today. Probably pushing 80 right now. At least there's a slight breeze. And when I say slight, I mean slight. Couple miles an hour maybe. More than yesterday, which was 0. And that's good, because there's a lot more summiting today than there was yesterday. And it's non-stop sun instead of sporadic sun and clouds. Feels good to be climbing now. Climbing these mountains again. I love it. That view that you just seen is the summit of Mount Prospect. The mountains are getting bigger. Not that good of views all around, but where there was views, it's pretty nice down into the valley. Up high, well, high for what it's been the last few states, 1,448 feet for the summit, and it just keeps getting higher. Crosses 2,000 here in Bear Mountain here soon. But there was a gentleman up there relaxing at the summit, and I did not want to bother him, so I just shot the video and continued on. But Mount Prospect is in the bag. Oh, wow. And that's the wide length. Let me show you the actual view. I'm sorry, wide angle, not wide length. That's the actual view. Wow. The mountains are getting bigger and more beautiful. Definitely the most prominent mountains I've seen in a minute. But with those green trees and the pines and the big open meadows, oh good Lord above. That is freaking awesome. Whoa! Look at this glacial rock. Looks like a giant thumb. It's something about the shadows right there. It looks like a smiling face. It's not. It only looks like that in the camera for some reason. It's pretty cool. From behind. That's pretty cool. Okay, onward. I want to see mountains, not rocks. But that was pretty cool. Another nice opening on an outcropping. Looking at those mountains getting bigger out there. Beautiful pines over there on that face of the mountain. Starting the descent right now that goes into 3 different roads or crossings. Route 44, Cobble Road, and then Under Mountain Road, all which wrap around Salisbury, Connecticut. I stayed in Salisbury last year. That is actually where I was for 2 or 3 days, I can't remember which, but that's where my ankle injury had gotten really bad. I mean, really bad. Had walked a couple 100 miles on the injury and it just kept getting worse and worse. And I stayed there for a couple days, resting it, doing everything I could, CBD oil on it, everything to try to make it better. And then I felt like it was a little bit okay. So I continued on over the next couple mountains, including Bear. And that was it. Got to Great Barrington. And I had to quit to go heal up. And it took about 4 to 5 weeks to heal the ankle injury and the hairline fracture type of injury on the bone that went to the small pinky toe. And by then, with prior engagements, I was not able to come back and finish. So it ended up being about a 1,600 mile through hike, including the side trails and such. Not a through hike of the whole Appalachian Trail. I could have just came back and done that section from Great Barrington on, but obviously I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do the whole thing again. And that's who I am. I'm a through hiker. So that's all I'm gonna be doing for the rest of my life is through hiking. In case you haven't heard, if you're new to the channel, my magazine, which has been in the works for 3 years, called Thru-Hiker Magazine, is going to be out this fall, the first issue. That's what I do, is I through hike. And I'm gonna be sharing that passion with all the enthusiasts and fans of through hiking across the world. So go to thru-hikermagazine.com if you haven't, sign up on there for updates for that first issue. These steps are actually quite deep. So that's why I'm taking them a little slow as I'm doing the camera work here. But I digress. Salisbury was a great little town. Has a little grocery store, a little pharmacy that used to be a pharmacy, but now it's not. Still like a general store type of thing with gifts and knickknacks and over-the-counter drugs and so forth. No prescription drugs though. But has a restaurant or two and a couple of little hostels. But what I thought was really cool was like the church-looking building, which might be a restaurant now. And then behind that is a cemetery with gravestones that go all the way back to early 1700s, might have even been the 1600s. It was pretty old gravestones. I think the oldest I've ever seen. And I've seen some pretty old ones. So it's pretty cool being able to look around at that. Like not really history, I guess, but kind of history. But I crossed those 3 roads here. I think it's half a mile for the first one, 1 mile for the next one, and 1.5 miles for the one after that called Under Mountain Road. And then I will be 6 miles from the Massachusetts line. That is awesome. Still several more summits to go today if I continue to go on, which I'm probably going to continue to go on and cross Massachusetts here this afternoon into this evening. Maybe I'll catch a really cool sunset at one of the mountains on the way. But it's been a great hike so far today, right around the 16-mile mark. Up and down a lot of things, a lot of cool milestones happening today. A lot of summits, across 1,500. You know, a couple summits so far. 3 summits actually so far. And probably 3 more today. At least 2 if I continue to go on into Massachusetts, but it could be 3. And that'd be really cool, because that one goes over several cliffs and sheer drop-offs. Might be really cool at sunset. I don't know. Just gonna see how far the body wants to go today. Could be 20 miles, could be 26 miles, who knows? Just go. Whew, bug just went up my nose. Just go until I don't want to go anymore, I guess. But like I said, just rambling on right now, but Connecticut has been awesome. Coming into Salisbury, the last big, decent, actually the last town at all, I believe, until Massachusetts. And then Great Barrington will be tomorrow. That'll be going into there, doing some resupply, possibly taking a Nero before heading on. All right, going to continue on this trail, very slowly going down, as it's very steep. I don't know if that shows up on the camera, but it's beautiful. Got a ways to go down, about 600 or 700 feet is where those roads are. So got a little bit of a descent to go, and continuing on after that in beautiful Connecticut.